Hi everyone, it's Tricia. I'm bringing you this video today from a segment in a Facebook Live session I did in the Lightworkers Lab. And you may have heard me talk about the Lightworkers Lab before. It is an online community. It's based in Facebook, a Facebook group that is a spiritual community. It's founded by Crystal Ann Compton, and I am a moderator and a teacher in the Lightworkers Lab. It's a really amazing, safe, beautiful community. I'm just looking at the, who was that who was just flying by? I think it was a moth, but really beautiful. This is actually a live reading session that I did. So we have all kinds of things that we do in the lab teaching, and we also just do live reading and healing sessions. So this was apart from a reading that I did for a member. I had this guidance that a lot of people could actually benefit from it, because this is the cool thing. When we're doing something as a fellowship, even if it's a reading that's for a specific person, Spirit actually organizes the message that whoever may be attracted to watch it, they could get something from it. And so that's what's so cool about the phone calls that I take on my show Charmed Life, because I take live calls from the audience, and even if you don't get on, if you listen with your heart, the universe is actually bringing a message forth for all of us, and it's really cool. This person is a very sensitive person. She in particular is an empath, and she's facing a lot of transition in her life at the time of this reading. And so, you know, very sensitive person going through transition. Transition is one of the hardest things that we have to kind of manage to get through as humans, because the physical body, the ego, just really has a hard time with transition. So being very sensitive and ready to move on, I just thought that there would be a lot of good advice for a lot of people. And I also want to tell you that I have started a Facebook group as well. And I would love for you all to please join it. It's for spiritual seekers, and particularly if you want to have transformation in your life, if you want to take your life to the next level, if you really want to take your life to a charmed life, to your charmed life. Facebook.com/charmedlifelove. Facebook.com/charmedlifelove. And then you'll know it by the banner photo that you'll see. And the banner image is right here. Right here. I hope I don't know, have to put that in later, so hopefully I coordinated that right. Just come with your heart open, and hopefully we will continue to just keep moving together and allowing more light and love, connection and unity, and everything that we're meant to be in this beautiful ecosystem, just like this tree expressing itself. But again, we're going to do what Spirit is bringing us. And go ahead and everyone tune yourself into here too, because Spirit will bring through messages for all of us. And so Abby would like some help, some advice, some insight on money. So what I'm getting here, Abby, is I'm seeing some, is it shift kind of work is what it looks like to me. It seems like it's not like 40-hour-a-week kind of work that's going on right now. It's really taxing. Translate this, what it feels like. Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you how I can relate to it, because I used to work in restaurants. And so that's why I say it feels like shift work. And I really hated working in restaurants because I was an empath, and I was way too open and really imbalanced at that time. And so it was almost like torture sometimes. I don't feel like it's quite that bad for you, but it isn't something that is turning you on and making you feel like, wow, I'm really using my real passions and my real talents and everything. I'm spot on. Thank you. That makes me feel good. Thank you. Abby says I'm spot on. All right, sweetheart. So Spirit is showing me some more time alone, some self-care, because we need to work on the self-acceptance, self-love. It's not forgiveness. Abby, you are a highly sensitive person and or empath. So I feel you. Victim is too strong of a word, but there's a lot of overwhelm, and there's a lot of extra hypersensitivity to what's going on, to where it feels like you're barely keeping your head above water. And this is in everything, but that's what it's like with the money as well. Right in the immediate future, spend some time on looking on self-care tips for empaths. And that's just immediate, just to kind of edge that up, because I feel like you have placed your awareness there before, and you've gotten some education, and you've gotten some of that focus, and you could use a bit more. just some more techniques, some more things that might even be a little bit ritualized. Ritual can actually help us. I don't think that we should be over focused on ritual, but it's a great way for us to start because we are pattern seekers as humans, and and routine really helps us to change what's going on inside. Abby, I think that that's one thing that Spirit wants you to know too. 10 minutes a day of reading, 10 minutes a day of self-care, self-romance. This is what's immediately in front of you to help you to shift your state of being. And then the other is to become really present. So that's going to help you to be more comfortable just in the now, because that's the next step to being able to create more self-reference, self-awareness, self-empowerment, and then to be okay with the now. Because it's really hard to be okay with the now if, for example, you're in physical pain or you're in emotional pain. Being able to cultivate that self-reference and care will push you up to be able to align with more moments that are at least neutral. And then it gets you, it's a lot easier in a neutral place to be able to be grateful and present than it is when you're in a low place, in a physically painful place. But let's, for example, I'll just give you, you said you resonated with whatever the shift work thing was, so I'm going to share with you the story of how I went from being a miserable bartender, miserable, it felt like a prison. I dreaded it. I would become sick before I had to do it because it was just not, and I'm not saying it's a terrible job, can be quite a wonderful job, to having this windfall of opportunity and actual money. I am so sick of hearing myself talk about this stuff, because if I left this place and went to another bar or restaurant, then I would be having the same conversation with you with different names. I would be saying Susan is this and Lauren is that. You know what I mean? Like, it would be the same thing. So I'm sick of it. I'm not going to say this anymore. I'm not going to align with it. I use that language quite. I'm not going to align with it anymore. At least I'm not going to put any more energy toward it. But I'm going to go in every day and I'm going to just be nice. It's as simple as that. I'm going to really try to be nice, because being nice to me was a way for me to say I was going to be really as present as possible. And I'm going to figure out a way to try and feel okay with the fact that I am ready to graduate from this place, from this medium. And this area that I'm going to be okay with wanting to move forward. And that's a weird place to be because it feels a little bit non-present. It's not. It's being okay with transition. You know, it's being okay with being in motion. And that's the best way you can be present in transition. So you got 3 steps there, Abby. You've got build up the self-care, look at some empath tips and rituals and stuff like that, and let those be flexible and move with you. Some kind of physical exercise to help you push through that, and being in nature. The next thing is to find a way to become present with something like that. I'm okay with wanting to move on. I'm okay with being ready to graduate. These things are the things that are going to build the self up to be able to start creating. And